Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. And now, celebrating 15 years of broadcasting, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM or online through WYADonline.com. We're glad you all could be with us. Also, those tuning in through online affiliates around the world, including our iHeartRadio family. We're glad to have all of you with us as well. We're excited to welcome actor Jermel Wilson to our program today. Jermel's someone who's a part of a talented cast that I've been interviewing this year called Bronx SIU. You've heard me talk about the show on UMC. We're going to talk to Jermel about that, but also about his acting journey in general, what it's been like for him to do what he loves, and to be able to share that with all of you. He's been able to share some great snippets of his work on social media, so of course we'll talk about the social media component for him, and more importantly, what you all should be looking out for as well. Jermel, hello to you, and welcome to the program, man.
Hey, what's up, people? How you doing? What's up, Cyrus?
Hey, man. Glad to have you on with us. Appreciate the time. You know, we're going to kick things off by talking about Bronx SIU. You know, I've had a lot of fun over the past few months, man, being able to interview a lot of the cast and also the writers, producers, directors behind the show. I mean, first of all, what has it been like for you to see the response to Bronx SIU, Jermel, and then for you to have a part of it?
Well, I will say that I love it because this show is really, I'm sure, like, you probably heard this from most of the cast, but this show is really like a labor of love. Because it's a TV right now, you know. It's some shows that's similar, but it's nothing like it. But I can't say in comparison, it's like a cross between Power, SVU, and Shades of Blue, right? But the thing that I like about this show is that they don't put the characters on a pedestal, you know, because in life.
Right.
You know, like on TV and film, a lot of times you see just things as black and white, you know, like as far as like, I'm not talking about race, I'm talking about like the scenarios and the outcomes. But realistically, you know, with this project, it shows the shades of gray. Like none of this, and nobody on the team of the Special Investigation Unit is without flaws, you know?
Right.
So that's the one thing that I like about it because, like, in all actuality, like, if you see what's going on in the news today and stuff, you see that it's a lot of police officers with flaws, you know?
Yeah.
From, like, you know, with the killings of unarmed black men and just harassment and stuff like that. And so you don't really get to see that on TV all the time. Like, even on Special Victims Units, you see. Only time you'll see a flaw in, like, one of the main characters is when it's a special episode, you know?
Right.
But it's nice to see that, you know, they showing them, like, hey, they heroes, you know, for throughout the day when they do their job, but at the end of the day, they have a life just like the criminal aspect on the show, pretty much, you know? Like, they go through things like everybody else, you know? And in life, you know, you could have all the accomplishments of the world from, you know, for people that's on the outside looking in, but on the inside, which is yourself, you know, you got flaws. You know, I have flaws. Everybody has flaws and stuff. You know, so it's nice that this show. It's nice that this show just got a chance to accentuate that. You know. And expand on it. So, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. Like, you know, I used to watch a lot of these people, the cast, on TV. Like, I'm a big fan of Miguel Nunez. You know, this is, like, I've watched Miguel since fall. You know, and Miguel, and when he was on the Martin show, and when he was on In the Thin Line Between Love and Hate. And what I liked about Miguel is, you know, he was a slick guy, but he always was a straight shooter, you know?
Right.
Brian, I had the pleasure of working with Brian in 2009 on a film directed by Dido Montreal called Fighting. So I kind of knew Brian to a degree, you know? But he's another person that it's like all the people that's in this cast, they always get the, outside of this project, they get the supporting roles or whatever, but this shows them in the lead roles where they should be, So that's a good thing. And then it's an all black cop show, but if you pay attention, it's a mixture in the cast, So that's great. And Shanti Lowry, oh my God, she's doing a phenomenal job, and the man too. The man is doing a great job. Everybody that's attached to this project, they doing fantastic, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Right.
So,
you mentioned two things, Jermel, I want to go back to. One, of course, is the cast that you've been able to work with, but also I think, too, the storylines. I mean, storylines has been big for what you've been able to do, even outside of Bronx SIU. Is that one of the things that drew you to acting, being able to bring different characters to life?
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, I always kind of figured that was the career that I was going to go to, but when you're younger, you don't know that you can actually get paid off of this stuff. Like I'm talking about like 5 or 6 years old. Like I would always, like my mother and my cousins and my the rest of my family, they would always hear me quote like a TV line. Or every time I would go out with them, I would act like I'm Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cop or something, and I would always come up with songs and jingles or when it was time to play, imagination or something, pretend like with the kids, they will always follow my lead. So it just dawned on me. I said, Dad, I want to do this, but I never knew how to get into it, And then when I found a way to get into it, and I said, oh wow, I said people actually support themselves with this. This is a real job, like, and a lot of for a lot of people, they don't feel like acting is a real job, but it's a lot of work to be an actor.
Right.
Like this is a tough business. Everybody can't do this,
Right.
Like you gotta have thick skin. You gotta be able to accept rejection, and you gotta be able to keep the faith that someday you're gonna be consistent. Like, you can't come in this game chasing fame. You got to chase consistency, and that's where a lot of people mess up at, where, where they starting out and then they giving up because they're not as famous as a Denzel or Eddie Murphy and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, your time will come. Like, if you got good work ethic and you work hard and stuff, then eventually fame will probably come with it. Is that what I'm after? No. I just want to be consistently working. Like I want Joe Morton's career before Scandal. Because you remember Joe Morton. Like every time I would see him in a movie and stuff, I'd be like, yo, who is this guy? He's in everything, but I never knew his name.
Yeah.
And and it wasn't until Scandal that everybody was like Joe Morton, like he's been a new face, but Joe Morton been around since What's Happening,
Yeah.
He was actually the guy that busted Rod's rerun and Dwayne's for stealing the scarf for their mother.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would want that career, like and the thing about it is he's done things bigger than Scandal. He's been Terminated too. He was in Inkwell. He was in a different world, But it's like with the power of social media, projects are able to have an extended life once you turn them off, So
exactly.
So that's a good thing.
Right. I'm glad you said that because I think, and that ties in perfectly with what I was telling you about our conversation here and what I mentioned to our audience, because social media has done so much. One of the things you've been able to do in using it, Jermel, is being able to share clips of projects, even outside of Bronx SIU, that you've been working on. First of all, what has it been like for you to go from being someone who's a fan of other people's work to now being able to garner your own fans?
Well, I mean, I say that I still got a long way to go. I'm just happy to be working, and moving on to the next project, But I still got a long way to go, Like at the end of the day, Am I where I want to be at in my career yet? No. Am I where I want to be at in life yet? No. But am I enjoying the ride of getting there? Yes, I am. You know, because at the end of the day, I still live in the community. You know, so even though a person may see me on TV and stuff like that, or whatever, because I'm attached with certain projects and stuff like that, at the end of the day, when I come home, I still live in the urban community. So I'm able to. It's kind of trips me out because I get to watch it from a fan perspective, be in it from an actor perspective, and then I get to hear the responses immediately and not have to wait to turn on social media to get, feedback, which is cool, So, like, I think like that's a good thing to have, Who knows? Maybe I'll have it for a little longer. Maybe I may not have it that long, and more projects will come after this. I'm hoping so, But right. I'm just enjoying the ride.
Yeah. And the ride is so important, and I hope that that's one thing our audience realizes when it comes to pursuing their own goals. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're speaking today with actor Jermel Wilson. We're talking to Jermel not only about the acting journey for himself, but also what it's been like for him to share that with you guys. One of the projects that we've been talking about, you guys have been able to see him on UMC, and now, of course, our friends through Amazon Prime, and that is Bronx SIU. We're going to let you know at the end of our segment, though, how you can stay connected with Jermel and his upcoming projects. One thing we talk about a lot on this program this year, regardless of, what profession our guest might be a part of, Jermel, is overcoming fear. And so I want to talk to you about it on the opposite side, about confidence. What do you think has given you the confidence to pursue your dreams?
I mean, what giving me the confidence to pursue it is because, or the competence, is because at the end of the day, I knew that, all right, let me get this right. Everybody that's put on this earth is put here with a purpose. They're put here with a talent, and they're put here to do things. And a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to find what they're good at and actually put that into providing for themselves and stuff, Because at the end of the day, I always knew that I was going to be something great or someone that leaves a mark, and I just didn't want to just, exist. I wanted to live. If you get what I'm saying,
right,
basically, and existing is the regular 9-to-5 job, paying your bills, coming home, and just running that same old wheel over and over and just getting by. And not for nothing, I'm not knocking nobody that does, that's comfortable with the 9-to-5 job and stuff, because at the end of the day, they have to support themselves. They have to feed their family and stuff. And I commend them for doing that, but I know that I couldn't do it, because I always wanted to be a person that led by example, for one, and I always wanted to be a person that basically had some type of effect on somebody, and like as far as like maybe I can inspire the next person to do something, and I always just knew that I would have some type of career in entertainment, so. That was my main thing, and at the end of the day, I didn't just want to live just over broke,
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying, like I want to be able to build a legacy, so when I do have kids, I could pass it down to them and stuff and create a dynasty, because like at the end of the day, it's sad, but a lot of people that's like a lot of families of color, they don't do that, They teach their kids to go to school, go to college, get a good job, get an apartment, get a house or whatever like that. But nobody instills in their kids, like they tell their kids they can be whatever they want to be, but then when the kid want to pursue something in the arts or sports or something like that, they tell them to get a real job. But at the end of the day, acting, singing, rapping, comedy, or whatever, you know, that is a real job. You know, you can claim taxes on it, and then you're providing a service for somebody that, you know, they could be going through something. You know, a person could be going through depression or whatever like that. And you could be a direct cause why that person didn't take the final outcome, you know? So, because they heard your song, or they heard, or you made them laugh, or you made, or something that you was a part of that was displayed, whether in any form of media, made them rethink that, you know? Or some people, like, think about it, the cast of A Different World, that inspired the whole black college experience and people attending black college, because before that, you know, it wasn't a lot of black kids going to college. It wasn't a lot of brown kids going to college like that, because in our neighborhoods, they teach us that going to college is corny, you know?
Yeah.
They try to teach us to pick up a gun or you know, or pick up a basketball or whatever. Biggie said it himself. Either you slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot, you know? But nobody teaches, like, at the end of the day, just because you see me doing acting, or you see somebody, or you see Jay-Z rhyming, or you see Beyonce singing, or you see Dave Chappelle doing comedy, you know what I mean? I'm not lumping myself in that name and stuff like that. That don't mean that you have to do that. We need a lot of people behind the scenes, you know?
Exactly.
We need more black directors, black studio heads, brown directors, you know, Latin, Asian, whatever, you know? But we got to start instilling in our people the think better, you know? Or as Steve Harvey would say, jump, you know? Because if you don't jump, you know, then you don't know what you're capable of. But a lot of people don't jump because they're afraid to fall, you know?
Exactly.
So that's just crazy to me. I just knew that wasn't going to be me. You know?
And I think by your making that stance for yourself, Jermel, you're showing other people by example. It's one thing to say it, but you're showing other people by example what's possible for them. So, you know, I want to ask you this question, then we're going to let our audience know how they can stay connected with you. I mean, you know, there is a balancing act that has to take place. One, of course, you mentioned earlier, you know, about, you know, what you've been able to do, but also realizing that your best days are ahead. So many people get stuck in the past. How do you, you know, appreciate where you are, Jermel, but also keep looking forward to the future?
Well, my thing is, it's like I always try and set, like, goals for myself. Like, you have to set goals for yourself. You have to set a plan for yourself. Because I say, like, probably about, like, 4 or 5 years ago, you know, my phone was not ringing. I was not getting no emails. I was not getting no auditions or anything and stuff. And I started back getting stuff again, but then I said, you know what? I gotta start. You know, if I want people to invest in me and take a chance on me, I got to take a chance on people, and I got to train and stuff. So what I did was, like, this year, I went back and I did some training. Like, I did some stunt training. I did some improv training. I performed at Caroline's twice. You know, the roles that I wanted to get, sometimes I didn't have footage for it, so I shot some scenes to put me into the conversation for those roles and stuff. And basically the key is to set goals, you know what I mean, make plans, invest in yourself, and then proceed to do everything that you have set in your mind. Because if you don't, you can't just sit back and just be like, oh, why this isn't happening? No, you're the reason why it's not happening to you, because you're not taking time to do the things that put you into that position, you know?
Right. I think that's it. So that's what our audience definitely has to keep in mind. Again, everyone, Jermel Wilson has been our guest. Great conversation with you, Jermel. We've been talking with him not only about what it's been like for him to do what he loves as an actor, but also what it's been like for him to share that experience with all of you. Great things are happening with Jermel. So, Jermel, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you and kind of keep up with the journey with you online?
All right. Well, I'm on Facebook. You can type me in Jermel Wilson. I'm on Twitter at Jermel323, and I'm on Instagram, The Real Jermel Wilson.
Okay, so make sure you are definitely staying connected with Jermel. Jermel, congratulations to you again, man. Glad we were able to make this happen, and looking forward to our next conversation, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Call me anytime.
All right, man. We will. Hey, we're gonna definitely take you up on that, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Jermel. Don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media sites. So head over to Facebook.com/Cyrus Webb or go to Twitter.com/Cyrus Webb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there, too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. You all make it a great one.